Right now, you're thinking this video doesn't apply to you. You think you're too smart to be manipulated, that everyone else falls for psychological tricks, but not you. Congratulations. You've just proved you're the most vulnerable person watching this. This is called the third-person effect, and it's the reason intelligent people get scammed more than stupid ones. Stanford researchers ran an experiment. They showed people advertisements and propaganda, then asked, how much did this influence you, and how much did this influence others? The results were disturbing. 95% of people said the content influenced others significantly but had little to no effect on them personally. Everyone believes they're in the immune 5%. This is the third-person effect. You genuinely believe you're less susceptible to manipulation, advertising, propaganda, and psychological influence than everyone around you. And that belief is exactly what makes you vulnerable. Here's why this is dangerous. When you think you're immune, you drop your guard. You don't question what you're seeing because you've already decided it can't affect you. Meanwhile, the manipulation is working at full strength. You're just too arrogant to notice. The research gets worse. They tested this with highly educated people, doctors, lawyers, professors. These groups showed the strongest third-person effect. The smarter you are, the more convinced you are that you're immune, and the more vulnerable you actually become. Think about it. Stupid people know they might be tricked, so they're suspicious of everything. Smart people think I would notice if someone was manipulating me, so they never bother to check. Intelligence without humility is just arrogance with a degree. Marketers exploit this ruthlessly. Luxury brands don't advertise features, they advertise identity. You're sophisticated enough to appreciate this. You think you're buying it because you genuinely like it, not because the ad worked. But the ad literally told you that you're too smart to fall for ads, and you fell for it. Political propaganda uses this constantly. Both sides think the other side is brainwashed, while their side is thinking critically. Both sides are exhibiting the third-person effect. Both sides are being manipulated. Neither side can see it because they're too busy feeling superior. Social media algorithms have perfected this. You think you're curating your feed based on your authentic interests? Meanwhile, the algorithm is curating you, showing you content that keeps you engaged, angry, afraid, clicking. But you think you're in control because you chose to follow those accounts. He didn't. The algorithm suggested them. You just think it was your idea? Here's the darkest part. Cult leaders use the third-person effect as a recruitment filter. They say things like, most people are sheep, but you're different. You can think for yourself. If you agree, you've just identified yourself as someone with a strong third-person effect. Someone who thinks they're immune to manipulation, which makes you perfect for manipulation. The research shows that people with strong third-person effect are more likely to join MLMs because other people get scammed. Not me, more likely to fall for sophisticated scams because they're too proud to think they could be fooled more. Likely to stay in toxic relationships because I'm too smart to be in an abusive relationship. More likely to make catastrophic financial decisions because I did my research. Unlike those other idiots, confidence in your own immunity is the vulnerability. Casinos love people with third-person effect. I know the odds. I'm just here for fun, unlike these gambling addicts. Meanwhile, you're 3 hours deep and $500 down, but you're still convinced you're different from everyone else at the slot machine. Here's how abusers use it. They'll criticize how other people treat their partners. I can't believe he talks to her like that. They're positioning themselves as different, as aware, as better. And you think, well, at least they're not like those other toxic people. You've been manipulated into trusting them by your own third-person effect. The corporate version. Companies will openly admit to using psychological tricks in their marketing, knowing that you'll think, well, I know about it now, so it won't work on me. Except awareness without behavior change is just intellectual masturbation. You still buy the product, you just feel smarter while doing it. News media exploits this beautifully. Every outlet tells you that the other outlets are biased propaganda, but they are giving you the truth. And you believe that because you think you're smart enough to identify the real news from the fake news. Both sides think this. Both sides are being manipulated. The fix isn't to think harder. The fix is to assume you're always being influenced and ask how, not am I. Because the answer to am I being manipulated will always be, no, I'm too smart for that. And that's exactly what they're counting on. You probably still think this doesn't apply to you. That's the point. Subscribe if you want to see the manipulation you're too arrogant to notice. And comment, what did you think you were immune to before it got you?